Hi guys, it's Andy from I Hear Melbourne City, and I'm back for another season of the A-League with Melbourne City Football Club. Hopefully, as you know, I Hear Melbourne City is a Twitter and YouTube community. There's also a little bit on Facebook as well. Make sure you follow us on Twitter at I Hear Melbourne City. That's where we do the most of the work, engage with everybody, follow along with game days, give out some previews. One of the things I want to add this year is some more preview videos, looking at squads, potential squads. That's what we're here to do today. So we're going to look at the entire season and then a quick look forward to this Friday. The season is back this Friday. I'm really excited. So let's get into it. The first thing I want to do was give you guys a quick update. I've got a couple of ideas for some videos to bring out this season. However, that will be depending on commitments outside of football, commitments away from I Hear Melbourne City. So we'll see how that goes. Here's what I wanted to do. I want to throw it open to you guys. If anyone is able to or is interested in helping run I Hear Melbourne City, develop some content, whatever you want, whatever your ideas are, I'd love to hear them. So what you can do is you can go to our Twitter page at I Hear Melbourne City and slide into the DM, send us a message, let me know. Let me know. I want to hear from you guys, and that's really what I want to turn I Hear Melbourne City into. I want to turn it into a community. I want it to be a place where we can come, we can talk about Melbourne City, the good, the bad. I think this is excellent. I think we're excited about this and share all these ideas. So that's what I want to turn I Hear Melbourne City into, and that's what we're going to do. So having said that, let's look at this season, and I want to start with looking at the overall squad, looking at the team, the people we've brought in, the people we've lost, probably not too many of the people that we've lost, looking at the team that we've got right now ready for Sunday, and then we'll look at what I think the lineup's going to look like at this stage, a couple days out from the game. So overall, I'm pretty happy with where the squad's sitting at the moment. I think, like a lot of people that I've seen online, depending on if we hadn't signed Ross McCormack, who's a pretty exciting signing, if we hadn't signed Ross McCormack, then I'd be a lot more worried. But because we have got that cover in the striker position, I'm feeling a little bit better. So what I want to do is I want to go through from the defence all the way through, talk about the players that we have in each position, and see what we're looking like. So let's start with the goalkeepers. We've got Dean Buzanis, Eugene Galekovic. Now this is going to be a really interesting back and forth. Does Dean start? Does Eugene start? I'm interested as well is how the Melburnians are going to treat Eugene Galekovic. Eugene was always a keeper that was fun to tease a little bit. You'll never be a Socceroo chant. It's going to be interesting to see whether Melburnians get behind him and how so. That's going to be really cool to see. I think Eugene Galekovic should be our main keeper. I'm not 100% sure on whether that's going to happen. Yeah, it's going to be an interesting one. So we'll have a look. I tip Galekovic to be the number one. However, Buzanis is still a quality keeper. He gets a lot of flack, but I think Eugene will be the way to go. Looking at the defense, we're a lot stronger than last season. We've brought in Bart Schenkerveld. We've brought in Jacopo LaRocca, who I'm not happy with. We've got Osama Malik there. We brought in Scott Jamieson, who I'm really excited about. But looking at the centre-backs first, I think our main two will be Michael Jakobsen and Bart Schenkerveld. That will be our heart of defence. That'll be our rock-solid 1 and 2 starting partnership. Of course, with Tonjik still developing, he's going to be awesome. LaRocca played a really good game up in Shepparton and reportedly against Adelaide during the week as well in our most recent preseason game. So that's going to be really interesting to see. Hopefully, that looks a lot better than it did last season, because we all know what happened there. For the fullbacks, we've obviously got Scott Jamieson, we've got Manny Muscat. What I'm worried about is who else do we really have at fullback? We know Bart can play fullback, but other than that, it's looking pretty light. We do have some youth boys. Now, I was planning on talking about this later, but we can bring it up now. We do have some youth boys. We've got Christian Carvalho and Dylan Pereira, who are both young boys who can do jobs there. And I'm really excited to see what Christian Carvalho can do. However, he's not signed to the senior team at the moment. So I think we're lacking a little bit of depth at fullback, but we'll see how we go. Maybe we look at 3 at the back and play our wingers as wing back. Not thrilled about that, but tell you what, let me know. Comment below. Let me know what you think about our defence, our depth at fullback. Let me know. Looking at midfield next, I think our midfield looks really strong. So we've still got Kilkenny, Bratton, like we had last season. We've lost Anthony Caceres, but he was kind of on and off starting on the bench anyway. We've got Malik, who I really hope this season we play as a defensive midfielder. We know that when he's our full centre-back, then we have some problems. There's no one behind him to cover him. So if he makes a mistake, which he probably will, we've got players behind him. So I'd like to see him at defensive midfield. We've also got Kilkenny. We've also got Bratton. We also signed Marcelo Carusca, who I think is an excellent signing. I think he will play on and off the bench, similar to Caceres did. And now that he's an Australian citizen, doesn't cost us a visa spot. I think that was an excellent signing. We've brought back Stefan Mork. Stefan Mork's going to be an interesting one. I'm not sure whether he'll play in the midfield as much as he would like for his development, I would think. I feel like last season we let him, not last season, whenever it was, when we let him go, it was because we couldn't guarantee him game time in the midfield. He went to Adelaide, he got game time in the midfield, he was a box-to-box midfielder, and he did really well. I think with our lack of depth up forward, he might be forced to play on the wing or as like a false 9, which I don't think is his best position, but that might be where we're forced to play him. I think that'll be interesting. So hopefully he gets a decent run in midfield, but we'll see how we go. We've also got the young bloke, Denny Jeanreau, who I'm really excited about. I really hope we hold on to Jeanreau for the long term. I think he's going to be the next Aaron Moy, the next Luke Bratton. I think he's got so much potential. I'd really like to see us keep hold of him, and he's going to be awesome in the years to come. And now I've been leaving out a player on purpose because we have our marquee signing, Marcin Buzinski. I think that's how you say it. I'm really excited. So I saw him play in Shepparton. He played 80 minutes, and he controlled the ball. He looked really comfortable on the ball. Now he's only played in the Polish National League, but I think he'll do really well in Australia, and I'm really excited to see how he controls the game alongside Bratton, alongside Kilkenny. It's going to be really good. So I'm really excited about our midfield. I think, especially the style of football that we play, looking at holding the ball, looking at trying to create. During some of the preseason games, we looked really slow. We looked really, we weren't able to create all that much. It seemed like a lot of pass and hope. And so what I'd like to see is with Buzinski, with Carusca, and Bratton, Mork as well, I'd like to see a bit more creativity, and really hoping that we can do really well and boss the midfield, because there are some good other teams out there. Looking out on the wings, we've got Kamau and Fitzy. Brandan is hopefully back from injury. I think people are saying about round 3 we can expect Brandan back. He seems to be in full training. I'm not sure what his injury is looking like. So we've got Brandan. We've also got Daniel Arzani, who's really exciting. I'm looking forward to him. He's got a lot of potential, very similar to Jenny Jeanreau. Got a lot of potential. Hopefully he can really break through, and this can be his big breakthrough season. We'll see how we go. So I'm pretty excited about the wing. Hopefully Fitzy steps up again like he did at the end of last year. He was on fire at the start of pre-season. I don't know how he's been going towards the end. He didn't play in Shepparton, which I went up and watched that game in Shepparton, which is why I'm speaking about that game. And then looking at our forwards. Now we know Bruno's injured, saying out until January, mid-January, end of January. Which is why we've brought in Ross McCormack, which is super exciting. Hopefully he's match fit. Of course, the season started over in England and the English window's closed, which is why he's able to come here. The Australian window's still open. But their season was well underway. They're 2 months into their season in England. So hopefully he's match fit, ready to go. I've tipped him to start on Friday. Hopefully he scores a bag of goals. But here's the one that we're also missing. Without Bruno, there's a lot of who was going to be our striker before Ross came in. Who was going to be the striker? What are we going to do? We've got Tim Cahill. We've got arguably Australia's best striker. Now, granted, he's 37, 38. But he can still do the job of sitting up front, holding the ball up, play the long ball to Cahill. He holds the ball up, then releases out wide. He can still do that job that Bruno can do, which is what we seem to miss against Sydney in the FFA Cup, even to some extent in Shepparton against the Wanderers. But Cahill, I think, is going to be really important. And if you can match last season, where I was reading in an interview or just an article about Tim Cahill, and he was looking at this season, he was reflecting on his last season. If he could score 8 goals and play, 24 games out of the 27-game season, plus the FFA Cup, while he was injured the whole time. Remember, he had the problems with his knee, his calf, his lower body, whatever it was. But, of course, Tim Cahill being the ultimate professional, getting all the treatment, controlling the injury, plays 60 minutes. If he can match last season, or even do better because this season he's not injured, I think that's going to be amazing. We're going to have exciting times with Tim Cahill this season. And he's also talked about not being his final season as well, which is really exciting. I've already talked about the youth boys, so let's look at our potential formation for this Friday. So I'm looking at a 4 at the back, 4-3-3. Galekovic in goal. I think he started in Shepparton. He started the FA Cup against Sydney. I think he's more likely than Buzanis to start early season. Then looking at the back four, we've got Muscat at right full back, Bart Schenkeveld, Michael Jakobsen. So they're the two that I've gone with at centre back, and Scott Jamieson. Scott Jamieson I'm not sure about, because in Shepparton he came off after 10 minutes, if that, with a knock to his back. He walked past and he said it wasn't looking good. So I'm pretty worried about Jamison's body, how his injuries are going to hold up. I'm hoping for the best, because I think he's an excellent footballer. But we'll see how he goes, and hopefully he starts. And like I said before, I don't know how much depth we have at fullback at the moment. I've got Sama Malik playing defensive midfield, because I think he's just named in the leadership group at Melbourne City, along with Michael Jakobsen, Tim Cahill, Stefan Mork as well. So I've had Malik start. I don't want to, but I feel like that's what's going to happen. We've got Kilkenny in the midfield as well, because I think he's the ultimate workhorse. I think he'll get up and about. I've also put Buzinski in the midfield, which means Mork, Bratton, Karuska don't get picked for this first game. So that could be anything. I've no idea what we're going to look like come Friday, but that's what I feel like we're going to go with. My favourite midfield that I would like to see would be Kilkenny at defensive mid, Bratton up the right-hand side, and then Buzinski up the left-hand side, both playing attacking mid. Then looking at our forwards, I've got Fitzy starting because Fitzy's awesome. I like Fitzy. I've gone with Ross McCormick to start. And the reason for that is hopefully he's match fit. That's kind of a gamble that I'm taking. We know Tim Cahill won't be in round 1 because he's away with the Socceroos. And then I've also picked Azani to start on the left. I don't think Kamau's ready to start the season, just yet. Who else did I say we've got at wing? Brandon, of course, but he's injured. We could also play Mork a little bit forward. Before I was talking about Mork potentially playing a little bit higher up the field. We could also start Mork a bit higher up the field in the front 3. We've also got Braden Crowley, as well, that can come on as an option in the attack. So there you go. So that's my for my prediction formation for this Friday for the first game of the season against Brisbane. Interesting story coming into Brisbane. Corey Gamero. I'm not sure what his fitness is like, what his position in the team's like. Obviously, he's going to play wing, but I mean, like, is he standing? Is he ready to be a starter? I don't know too much about Brisbane other than they've signed that really old guy we're supposed to know. Don't know about him. So overall, I'm really excited for Friday. Make sure you come down. If you see me while we're down at Amy Park, come and say hi. What I'd like you to do is like the video, because that's how we grow. We want to grow here at I Hear Melbourne City. Comment on the video. Asked about what you think about our defence. Let me know what you think about our starting formation as well. 4-3-3, maybe 3 at the back. What do you think about our depth in fullback? What do you think about our depth in attacker? What do you think about our new signings? Let me know. I'd love to hear from you guys. You can also let me know on Twitter. Tag me on Twitter, I Heart Melbourne City. I should say I Heart Melb City. I'll put that right here. I'll put that right here. Make sure you subscribe to the channel and share this with your Melbourne City friends, your fans, even people that don't like Melbourne City. You can let them know and just go, here, watch this video for me, and go, thanks guys. So I'm Andy from I Heart Melbourne City. I'm really excited for this Friday. You know what I should do? I should do a score prediction for Friday as well. Let's go. I think it's going to be, let's go conservative. I think 2-0. Let's go even more conservative. I think 2-1. I don't know how confident I am in our defence until I see it. Let's go 2-1. Let's go. Who should score? Who have we got? Let's go Fitzy to score a double. I'm happy with that. Or even maybe McCormick to get off the mark as well. All right. Thank you very much. My name's Andy. I'm from I Heart Melbourne City. Like, comment, share, subscribe. Hit me up on Twitter. Slide into those DMs. Go City.